Hey guys, Bobby from the Hazmat Guys here with a special episode. I'm bringing you one of our good friends, Jon from CavCom, and he's going to be taking us through, though it seems like a very simple thing, communications that are in suit, especially when you're in a level A or something like that, where there's no, anybody that's listened to this know how hard it is to hear or talk. This is kind of a key part of the ensemble. So, Jon, welcome.
Hey, thank you very much for having us on. It's good to be here. So
Great.
appreciate the plug. That was great.
No problem, man. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Jon Baldridge, like you said, senior technical specialist for field services for CavCom. We're based out of Walker, Minnesota.
Okay.
Obviously, I'm not from Minnesota with this Texas twang. My team is spread out throughout the U.S. I got 8 years in the Marine Corps. Been working with CavCom for the past 10, doing primarily training and just doing a lot with fire departments and hazmat teams primarily.
That's awesome, man. You know what? I like the product. I'm going to say I'm a little bit biased because I use your products on I'm not going to say a daily basis. Anybody who says that is full of it, but we use your products extensively, and I like them a lot. And one of the things that is a newer type technology that you guys are kind of pioneering out there is called talk through your ears. Right. What is that?
Yeah. So talk through your ears. It's great, and that's exactly what the end user is doing. We capture speech signal from deep within the user's ear canal. So, one of the debrief comments you always get, right, is that communications fail when you guys are in suit, especially when you got your BA and your face mask, and you just can't talk on the radio.
Yeah.
So that's one of the biggest things. So, 20 plus years ago, Jeff Morrill, who's the president of our company, and he's an audiologist. And so he was always working with people's hearing. Well, also speech and hearing kind of go hand in hand. Right. And industry was having a problem communicating through loud background noises and full face mask. So right. Talk through your ears. We basically took a large headset, boom mic, kind of like what you're wearing in the engines as you guys are driving. Right. We miniaturized that, and we placed it inside of two very small earbuds for another terminology. And that's where your microphone, your speakers are. They're in the ear canal. So when we communicate with this system, it sounds like me and you on the phone right now over the radio, especially with the full face on.
That's incredible. So just for everybody that's out there, there was an evolution of communications. I mean, we used to use just the handy talkie or the microphone piece. That was terrible because you were talking through the SCBA or your BA. And then there came the boom mics, and then there was the throat mics, and there was the bone mics. But this seems to be a lot, probably more efficient because it's actually picking up from like inside your head.
Right. And that's a great way to explain it. It's the total opposite of bone conduction.
Yeah.
Instead of having the products that you got to strap around your neck, or you got to strap on top of your head, things right. You got to swing down to your different attachments that you've gone through in the past. This is on the different end of the spectrum.
That's and then so if I could change my hat now, because I'm thinking like a user, right? So right. If I was to change my hat and I would say, okay, now I'm an administrator, I have $11 billion worth of radios, just as my department has, and we actually just upgraded our radios, and we had a problem with the connection. Right now with yours, actually another system that we had a problem with connection. Is the system compatible with multiple types of radios and that kind of stuff? Does it work on like different SCBA face pieces? Because there's multiple different types and stuff out there.
Right, absolutely. So let's address the radio issue first. No matter what make and model of two-way radio the department has, we custom build the adapters that will adapt to that radio. Okay, so we are an accessory. Talk through your ears is a radio accessory, and keep that in mind as we're going through this. I'm just attaching to your department radio.
Right.
I'm not attaching to your face piece. That's something you just brought up.
Right.
You don't have to attach to the face piece. This is a radio accessory. It is independent of whatever make and model of your SCBA or your face mask is. Has nothing to do with it.
See, that's key because a lot of these SCBAs are rated or certified as an ensemble, and by modifying it, you void it.
Correct.
So that's a huge thing. And plus, me as the administrator, I don't have to buy new radios in order to communicate anymore.
That's right. And back to it, if let's say we have another radio upgrade in 5 years, okay, which is probably going to happen, right? Bigger, better things show up. All you do with our system is you just buy the adapter for the new radio.
Oh, that's awesome. So,
and that's it.
Yeah.
Everything else stays the same.
That's you know what, and that's the key, because if I can keep my costs down and communicate effectively, if not better than I was, using the same SCBAs, same radios, everything, and just get better quality, it's a win.
Absolutely. Well, and the other thing is, if you're the administrator, I'm also going to enhance your communications. So now you don't have to keep buying accessory after accessory to adjust to each individual on the team, because all of us sound different in a suit. All of us sound different on the radio. Well, the one thing with talk through your ears and what CavCom has developed and senses as a solution is that it's a uniform communication across the entire team. And we even have products that will even help out the command staff. Where you and I are sitting here talking about respirator BA and level A, B, C, setups.
Yeah, sure.
But we're also able to help out the command staff as well. So it's a team communication. That's the way we like to look at it. It's not just, an individual. You can set up one person, you can set up 10. It's up to you.
Well, let me ask you a side question, because that's an interesting point, is that command, whatever it might be, the hazmat branch or the actual incident commander of the thing. Right. If I was, let's say I'm going downrange with you and I want to speak to you, I want you to speak to me, I want us to have unfettered communication, and yet I want incident command to listen but not speak. Is that something? I'm just thinking out loud, but that might not be a bad thing, where they can like view only kind of thing, or listen only.
Well, unfortunately, that's going to be in-house training. You're going to have to
Good point.
You're going to have to tell the command staff when entry team 1 and 2 are walking down range, we're communicating on the radio. Don't interrupt. We'll call you and we'll let you know we need to talk to you. But other than that, let us communicate.
Yeah, I'm going to write that down on my list of things to invent.
It's training. It's continuous training with the team, and they're part of it.
I love it. Right. That's great.
No,
so
go ahead.
That's excellent stuff. Now, I can use it on any SCBA. I can use it on any radio.
Yep.
I can use it, I'm guessing, on any suit.
Yes.
Right? I mean, A, B, C, regardless. I mean, I can use it without a CBA.
Yeah, absolutely.
That really kind of opens it up. Even pappers and filters.
Correct. Absolutely.
Huh. All right. So explain to me then, how does it, if I have my regular my regular radio, it's on my hip or in my pocket, and I have the mic that comes up to my, let's say, lapel, how do I turn this thing on? How do I integrate it? How do I attach it?
So if we're talking on the command side, what you're explaining would be like radio gear. That's an ear set that's an accessory to your radio and the user's speaker mic. Okay. Your speaker mic's still going to be the way you're going to communicate. But radio gear ear sets, they're binaural. They give you stereo reception in both ears, left and right, or you can do mono, single, whichever the user wants. And so when we do that, and if we give an example of, say, research, just trying to communicate with the downrange team, research is going to hear everything crystal clear from the downrange team because he has them dedicated in his ear. So our electronics, they're balanced armatures. And so there's no distortion with them. When you guys are up on, command side, there's 5 or 6, 7 people walking around speaker mics at full volume. Everybody's always like, hey, turn that down. I can't hear the team. So we take the distraction out of it, because now I'm placing the team inside your ear or ears. Okay. So now the team doesn't have to worry and have to repeat themselves again and again and again, because there's too much stuff happening up at what I call the cold zone. There's too much distraction. So that gets taken out of it. So back on the team,
Yeah.
if they're suited up and they're wearing on their harness, on their chest harness, like what we recommend, and they're going down range, everything is compact right there for them. All they're going to do is hit a button on their chest, large, big body button,
Okay.
and they don't have to unsleeve anymore. They can just reach up and hit the outside of their suit, press the
Through
button,
the suit.
and just
Right.
through the suit, right, and just talk normal.
All right. So what happens if a guy's excitable and he starts yelling? Any distortion? Or even quiet, like those guys that are mouses?
Right. Well, that's the beautiful thing about capturing the speech deep within the ear canal. If you have a person that's quiet, their voice is going to transmit. But guess what? They're going to sound quiet to everybody else coming through. So
That makes sense.
So that's exactly. So that's the one thing you get to do is tell your partner, use your daddy voice.
Yeah.
Speak up a
Speak
little
up,
bit.
boy.
Give me some more pressure on there. Give me some of that authoritative speech, so I know you're there with me. Because the way when air passes through our ear canal, it's pressure, and so the more pressure we have, or the more authoritative speech, the louder you're going to sound on the radio.
And okay, right, that would make sense. And then you were speaking before about noise filtering. So if I'm in a loud environment, what does it do? It does it in the earpiece or in the hardware?
Well, actually, it's going to be the passive protection. It's going to be the certain type of hearing protector that we add onto the earpiece, especially on the microphone side. So passive protection, that's going to block out up to 30 decibels of the background noise for the team member. So let's give you, here's, the example. So you guys are going down range to say a factory response, and you've got, say, steam leaks going off. Let's just say that we're 120 dB. Take 30 off of it. And now you're going to sound like you're below 100 and you're communicating. Everybody's going to hear your speech. You're still going to have some background noise coming through, but your voice is always going to be louder than the background or the ambient noise.
That's key because, I as a human, I can discern the background from the speech. But if I'm helped through the hardware, the software, or just the natural way the thing's built, it's going to be even better for me as instant commander, my partner, whatever it might be. That's gonna help out a lot.
Exactly. Well, you don't have the miscommunications anymore, and you don't have to say, "Hey, can you walk over to a quiet area? Can you go behind that wall over there? Is there anywhere? Can you go in another room and talk to me on the radio?"
Right.
That's all over with. You can stay on site and communicate the whole time.
So back in the day, I kind of quickly talked about this. We really didn't have, or I'm going to say the world at large. I mean, hazmat as an entity is only 30, 40 years old. I mean, it's really not that old. And I'm going to say the advanced communications that really only started emerging 20 years ago, we'll say.
Yep.
How would you rank, or how would you rate this new technology? I mean, obviously the newest stuff is always the greatest stuff, but how would you rate it in relation to the older stuff, the bone mics, all those things I was talking about before? I mean, is there a huge improvement where, I mean, obviously, listen, you want to sell them. I want everybody to have them, but like, what's the justification for a guy that's in an administrative role to say, "Yep, I need to get these things"?
I think one, we're totally opposite of what is the normal, because the normal is it's either say a hand mic, you're unsleeving, you're coming up, you're taking that to a vent or a voice emitter, you're trying to transmit over the radio, and that's a pain. Yeah. So that's time, right? That's air that you're having to use. It's frustration. You have to respond back to a call from command or even from your partner, and you got to unsleeve. And you got to come up
30 times a second.
Right? Exactly. So that's one step that we took out of it.
That's a big step,
right? And the whole concept, right, was when we're placing the microphone and the speakers in the ear under a certain level of passive protection or hearing protection. Okay. First of all, you're not going to lose the comm out of your ear if you're wearing it properly, which is very simple. It's not going to fall out. I see departments I come up on site where they're taping the earpieces to the side of their head with tie-back tape.
Oh, no.
I'm like, what are you doing there? Like, well, it falls out. Okay.
Oh no.
It's that right there. You're like, that's got to be uncomfortable.
Yeah.
30 minutes downrange, 45 minutes downrange, going, you're sweating already. You're losing calm. You can't communicate. You're going with the grease pens on a whiteboard and holding up. Someone with the binoculars going, oh, he needs help. So, so I
Yeah.
mean, you guys you've accepted the way to communicate without
Right.
finding a good solution. So this is a good solution that will offset all those problems of the past.
So and again, just paint the picture for my eye because I'm trying to understand what it is. Is this like one of those Secret Service type things where it goes in your ear and over the top, like around the back of it? How does it look?
It actually looks better than that. So,
Oh,
so
cool.
that curly Q cord that you're talking about, the one that doesn't look real secret when the
Right.
Secret Service shows
Right.
up, right? If you look at our ear sets, you would think that they look like the design. It's an over the ear preformed hook. It comes to a single point behind the user's neck at the back or up underneath their chin. Doesn't interfere with the seal of the mask. You don't know that you're wearing a comm system. You look like you're just wearing, a red earbud and a blue earbud.
Interesting.
It's like what people wear daily, on the civilian side. They're out there that we're wearing earbuds. Ours is a better design, but specifically designed for industrial use. And hazmat's that's an industry.
Right.
So, it's to look at it, it's extremely comfortable. It's very small. It fits within the bowl of the user's ear. But back to, for a command, why would I want this? It's consistent communications. It's hearing protection when your team goes in the downrange. We're trying to prevent hearing loss. It's solid comms through a respirator. It doesn't matter what ensemble you have. We're just an accessory to your radio.
Right. And so, I mean, let's say I have small ears or big ears. I mean, I'm assuming
I
that
can fit you.
that's what I thought.
Yep, I can fit you. And we do that by different size of disposable protectors that go on the post of the ear sets. So, anywhere from, vinyl 3-flange tips up to, high density foam, small, medium, large, extra large, we're able to fit the user. If we can't fit the user with these disposable foams, we have a custom ear set option. And believe it or not, it's a very small percentage in the industry that has to have a custom, but we can fit that technician.
Well, let's say, or with today's, the way things are today, are most teams kind of okay? Joe gets a medium, he keeps his earpieces in his bag. Does like everybody get their own, or how are you finding people or teams are doing this?
Right. Yeah, great question. So my team, field services, when we come on site and we provide an on-site demo or live video training when we send out trial gear, it's a 4-step process. And it's all colors. It's either going to be clear vinyl, green for a slim tip, red for a standard, or blue for a large. And what I train everybody is we start with the red tip.
Right.
And we place it on the microphone side. I send them to the noise. If I've got ambient noise or acoustic feedback coming through and I know that we placed that ear set in properly, that tells me the tip is too small. I'm going to bring that technician back in. We're going to take the red off, which was standard. We're going to add a blue, send them back to the noise. The seal is the deal,
right?
Is one of our phrases, which our senior VP coined. She's awesome.
I love it.
And we use that consistently. The seal's the deal. When the ambient noise is gone and I just barely hear something in the background, but their speech is louder and clearer than ever before, I know that we've got the correct tip. So now we give that technician a color. You're always going to be a blue in your microphone ear.
Gotcha.
If you're going into high noise, you're a blue in your left and your right. If you're low noise, we can make adjustments for the response that you're going to go into.
And that's a lot easier for me to remember that I'm blue, or for the department to buy whatever. I got a department of 30 guys. It's cheaper for me to buy 30, each guy his own earpieces, so that all you do is basically snap them on, right?
Correct. Yeah, you just rotate them on. It's very simple. So it's a color coding, and so you're going to have green, red, and blue, and you may have a 3-flange, occasional 3-flange, but
Wow.
it's simple. It's simple. And when we house the protectors or the tips, they come in a variety pack. Everything's labeled for you.
Okay.
So
Yeah. All right. So what? Obviously, I'm talking from the hazmat team perspective, and you've mentioned industrial. Like, what kind of teams are out there? I mean, I can see applications for this for police department, military, you name it. I mean, I can see this being applicable pretty much everywhere.
Exactly. So we work in every industry. We refer to the NAICS codes. So from manufacturing, high noise manufacturing, we are in with anybody that's having to do A, B, and C level suits.
Okay.
Fire departments. We got city, state, county, federal levels, fire brigades. I mean, we're in the military branches, chemical teams, CBurn setups, CSTs, right?
Yeah.
So they're active into it. So we're international, and we send our products all over the world.
So, John, what other products does CavCom offer?
Well, so we carry a full line two-way radio accessories, primarily designed for industry emergency response. We carry everything from all levels for radio, from speaker mics, lapel mics, full, classic style headsets, big boom mics, listen only monitoring ear sets like the radio gear we explained before. We also do custom hearing protection, just custom plugs. Again, we're industry based and industry focused. We do nothing as far as consumer wise. So going back anywhere from the chief to research to inter-team leader to inter-team, we can cover all aspects from on the hazmat side.
Interesting. That's I like it because, well, it lends to another question. So if you guys are a audio type thing, do you guys deal in radios?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, we
do
are.
radios.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're a dealer for Hytera radio, which is coming on very strong.
I'm familiar with them.
Yeah, they are.
Cool.
It's a phenomenal company, phenomenal team of engineers to work with. We're also a full radio repair department, and we can repair two-way radios. So if people are struggling with or they got a backlog and they can't get their comps, send them to CavCom. We'll get your radios repaired. Absolutely. There's a fee associated with repair.
Yeah, of course.
So, don't be afraid of the price we quote you, but, send me your stuff. Well, I'd love to take some business. So.
Yeah, exactly. It'll be comparable with anybody else that's out there, I'm sure.
Right. Yeah, but that's one thing with us is being a radio dealer for Hytera and then also repairing for, people who have problems is we've got fast turnaround times. We got excellent customer service and just got a wonderful, wonderful radio department.
Wow. Guys, for everybody that's listening, communications, it seems like an easy thing, the drills and that kind of stuff to enhance your technique of communicating. But if you cannot, there is nothing more frustrating than having to work on a nut and bolt system. And we've done this with the Lego drill, where you're in one room and I'm in the other room and I have it built and I try to verbalize how to assemble this Lego model. There's nothing more frustrating when I'm standing 2 feet away from you in a level A suit working on something with high ambient noise behind me and I cannot communicate with you. Anything that enhances audio is something to investigate. So what I really like to kind of bring it around and kind of wrap this thing up is, if I'm listening right now and I want to learn a little bit more about what you guys have and training possibilities, ways to check it out. I mean, we were just talking before we started this whole conversation offline about Baltimore. You're going to be in Baltimore, right, in 2019?
Yep, correct.
If I wanted to stop by, if I want to check these things out, what do I do?
Well, if you're traveling, one thing that I always get asked, is it going to work with my radio?
Yeah.
I encourage 2 radios to be brought from your department and bring it to Baltimore. Stop by booth 205 and say, this is what I got. Can you hook into it? Because I guarantee I'm going to have every adapter made for the radio make and model that's out there.
I love it.
Bring it on. We'll do on-site demos. I do this every year. Saturday mornings, for some reason, I've had Baltimore County brought their suits upstairs. They wanted an on-site demo. Bring it.
Really?
I'll do it. We are there. Absolutely. So, but if you're interested, in CavCom and our Talk Through Your Ears technology, or even our radio gear monitoring sets, I got sales and technical staff that can assist in the process. And we encourage all teams, those that are listening that want to try this, I want you to use our trial program to try the equipment connecting to your department radio prior to purchase. You can experience it firsthand before you purchase, and it's at no cost. I will send you the gear to your department.
Now you speak my language.
Yeah, and we got video training and also on-site demos. So my field services staff will come out and do an on-site demo. If you're geographically displaced and our times can't ever work for an on-site, I do live video trainings, and my other technicians do the same thing every week from our offices in the states that we live in.
That sounds like a good deal, man.
Oh yeah, it's awesome. It's awesome. But one thing I want to, everybody that's listening, I sincerely hope that they've tried everything else on the market.
Yeah.
I want you to try it before you get CavCom in, because once we show up and once you go through this and you got the proper training, I know that this is going to be the solution that the team and the individuals are looking for.
Yeah, I can concur. I'm going to put my my sizable weight behind this, because I've used just about every, and I mean this with all my heart, is that I've used just about every radio system on the planet where I work, and this is probably the easiest thing I've ever used. We've had some really ridiculous things that worked partially. This is a lock. This works.
Awesome. Wow. You made me want to get one, and I work for the company.
Bring a tear to a glass eye. Look at us go. So, John, listen, if anybody wants to listen, anybody wants to talk to you or check out the stuff, how do they get in touch with you? And again, guys, I'm going to put all these email addresses, websites, all these links in the show notes. We'll check on the blog at thehazmatguys.com, and you'll find this episode so that you can find all the stuff that he's going to talk about right now.
Well, the easiest way to get a hold of us first is, on the Hazmat Guys website, because we've got a great advertisement on your website and your homepage. Second, call us toll free. The number is 1-866-547-4988, or you can visit us on our website at CavComInc.com, and that's Charlie Alpha Victor, Charlie Oscar Mike, India November Charlie.com.
Wow. I like the military things with the Charlies.
Yeah, for those that still live in the phonetic alphabet, it's easier to spell that way.
John, listen, thank you so much for coming on and really kind of expanding everybody's head about communications in suit. Very important stuff that's out there, guys. If you can't talk, you can't operate. So thanks.
Awesome. Thank you. We appreciate it.
Well, that wraps up another episode of the Hazmat Guys.
You can find us on Facebook, Twitter, and our YouTube channel at The Hazmat Guys. And take a moment to call our comment hotline at 843-628-1484 and go to www.thehazmatguys.com and sign up for the newsletter.
We seriously look forward to your feedback about any of the information provided, and we also want to hear about interesting incidents that you were a part of. So you can send us a note at feedback@thehazmatguys.com. And remember, any of the information that you share with us, if we put it on air, can always remain anonymous.
Remember, guys, don't just get on the job. Get into the job.